All right, so we're still working on multiplying polynomials, but these kinds of polynomials are patterns. They come up all the time. So very, very important that you recognize the pattern and be able to go straight to the answers. We have two different patterns that we'll be working with, both here and in factoring. So you'll go this way, and then in factoring you'll go the other way. First you do it up, then you'll undo it. But this is called difference of squares. It'll start out looking like two sets of parentheses where our x's are the same, our y's are the same, and our signs are different. Our other one is perfect square trinomial, where we only have one set of parentheses and that set is squared, meaning that this is the same thing twice. Okay, so I have an x, I have a y. This sign is going to be, what in our problem, whatever this sign is the sign that goes here, or vice versa. Okay, and so this pattern goes into, this is our x, we take it and we square it. Then whatever this sign is will be this one. It's never both, plus or minus, one or the other. Then our middle term is always to take these two, multiply them together, and then multiply that by 2. So that's what our middle term is. The sign here before our third term is always positive, and then we take our y and square it. We'll talk about that just a little bit more in a moment. So let's look at a problem, and these patterns come up all the time, so recognize them, be able to go directly to the answers. So let's look at this. Well, when I look at this, I see that it's 2 bubbles worth, and my x's are the same, my y's are the same, but my signs are different. So I know that's a difference of squares. Difference meaning subtraction. Difference is the name of the answer when we subtract. So I'm just going to take my x's and square them. So 2x squared will be 4x squared. This is a difference, so it's always minus. And then I take my y and square it, 3 squared. Okay? So we go straight to the answer. If we were to do this the long way, let me show you. Foiling it out, 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Then 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x. Then 3 times 2x is positive 6x. And 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Well, notice we have 2 terms in the middle that are exactly the same, except our signs are opposite, which means these are gone, and we are left with 4x minus 9. You need to go straight to that answer. Take this, square it, negative, take this, square it, and you're done. Do not be doing the foiling anymore. Recognize this pattern. Let's look at this one. So if our problem is this, well, I recognize that this is a perfect square trinomial. It's one set of parentheses. I've got an x, a y, and the thing is squared. So that makes it a perfect square trinomial. It goes into 3 terms. Be sure to use the whole name. Otherwise, we start getting these all mixed up. So I take the first one, 4c is my x, so I square that. 4c squared is 16c squared. Then this is positive, so this sign will be positive. Again, whatever this sign is what goes first. Then I'm going to take these two, x times y, multiply them up. So 4c times 5d is 20cd. And then multiply that times 2. So 20cd times 2 is 40cd. In a perfect square trinomial, this last sign is always positive. Okay, so that's positive. Then I just take my y, in this case 5d, and square it. So 5d squared is 25d squared. Okay? Let's look at this just a minute if we do it the long way. Which I don't want you to do. This is really the same thing twice. So notice how it's different from a difference of squares, where our x's are the same, our y's are the same, but our signs are different. In this one, our x's are the same, our y's are the same, but our signs are the same. So again, if I FOIL this out, I will get 16c squared plus 20cd plus 20cd plus 25d. Notice my middle term, which I multiplied x times y and y times x, my middle term, I have two of them, and they're exactly the same. 20 plus 20 is 40, and so I end up with 16c squared plus 40cd plus 25d squared. And that is our answer. But we can go straight to that. We should never have to do this middle stuff in between. Okay? We're going to do this one more time to really get you used to it, because it comes up all the time and is really, really important to recognize and understand and be able to go directly to the answer. So now my x is 6x, my y is y. This is a perfect square trinomial, so I'm just going to put it into this pattern. Again, if you notice when we're doing the last term, positive times positive is going to be a positive. So this is always positive. If these were both the same, negative times a negative, negative times a negative again is a positive. That's why this one's always positive. So take this, square it. So 6x squared is 36x squared. Multiply these two. So 6x times y is 6xy times 2, 12xy. This sign here is negative because that one is. In a perfect square trinomial, this sign is always positive. Then I take the y, square it, I'm done.